It is one of those dishes, I feel, that when you see baked mac and cheese, everybody wants to try it.
You need your space, then pull me close. I read your silence.
Welcome to the channel. Today we are getting into some exciting times. This marks the time of year that I think most of us love. We love around Father's Day, it's National Indigenous Peoples Day, it's summer solstice. A shout out to Copper Canoe Woman, gorgeous, my sun and moon earrings. That time of year that we all get outside, and we usually eat a lot outside at this point in time for most of us. We go to barbecues, we eat on our patios, sometimes it's a collective potluck. I'm going to one of those today, and I am bringing baked mac and cheese. Baked mac and cheese, which I love, and I feel like I have through the years. I've tweaked and tweaked my recipe. It is one of those dishes, I feel, that when you see baked mac and cheese, everybody wants to try it. There is a bit of a trick to mine. The amount of sugar in a commercial mac and cheese, I was surprised, not surprised, to find out that there's almost, for that little box that's now well over $1, almost 3 teaspoons of sugar. It's quite a bit of sugar, which I think is unnecessary, but I still don't want to not include that sweetness, because like with so many dishes that we all love, it's that balance of sugar and salt together. So I'm going to show you my recipe, but I've got a bit of a twist. So let's get started. What you need with mine is, yes, you can bring your own dish, but I want to leave it behind. So, get some of these, dollar store, so you can leave it. The other reason I really want to take this, and even if it was at my own house, I like to put this either on open fire or the barbecue. Put it right on top when I get there, and it can rewarm. I'll probably broil it here at home so I get a bit of a crust going. And really, if the barbecue is part of the buffet line, you could leave it on the barbecue or the side of the barbecue. A nice pasta. So this one here is semolina. It's from Italy, and it's the corkscrew, or the cavapati, which is the corkscrew. It's nice because it's not just one elbow. There's 1, 2, 3 elbows in one pasta bite. Getting a nice pasta from Italy is it's durum and wheat and semolina pasta. And what that translates into is protein. If you're worried about protein, and I always am, I like to get my protein in, especially if you're eating something like pasta. Why not squeeze in what you can? The secret ingredient of mine is baking in the oven right now. Let's get it out. It's done. Baked onion and butternut squash. You know how we have a connection to that KD, that orange coloring? Well, this is where I get the orange coloring, because even my cheddar is white. So most cheddars nowadays don't have those dyes in them, so they're white. And I think there is a connection that we all make to something that is slightly peachy orange as being a mac and cheese. And I will probably cut off, I didn't really want these to cook that long, although it maybe is an indication that there's some nice sugar in that white onion. The beauty about baking these two items is it really captures the essence of the taste when you bake your vegetables. It keeps it really within, as opposed to frying, boiling. Some of the taste dissipates somehow in the cooking. But this has olive oil, drizzle, and salt, and a little bit of pepper on the butternut squash. So butternut squash is my secret ingredient. It's lovely because it also has some protein in it. As I am boiling the water for the pasta, I will get started on the cheesy, creamy sauce. But first, I have to go and get it at the grocery store. I need 3 kinds of cheese. The other thing that you'll need is smoked paprika, Dijon mustard, salt, pepper, cream. And maybe I'll put a garnish on the top of green onions, and I've got those. So let's go to the store quick and get my ingredients. Alrighty, home from the grocery store. And I did the #1 rule you're not supposed to do is go there when I was hungry. Of course, I came back with all kinds of things. Scallops and bacon, prawns. Getting on with our recipe. I end up buying 4 cheeses. Cherry season, yum. The cheese that I will use, definitely. And the reason I have 4 instead of 3 is one of them has a flavor in it that I think is important, and it really influences the overall. Some nice melty cheese. Your choice, but I love provolone and mozzarella, of course, and on the top, we want to do that. We want to give it a little pizza-ish type look on the top of it. I'll probably cut up half of that, so that's 440 grams. I will probably cut up half of that provolone. I will shred the mozzarella, probably 3/4 of that, and that is a 540 grams. And I have old cheddar. I will definitely use 500 grams for sure. This is only 400 and I have some in there. This is the extra one I bought. I like to add one of the flavored cheeses in, either garlic and chive or a spicy peppery cheddar. This time I bought the smoked because I really love a smokiness inside of a mac and cheese. So it seems like a lot of cheese. It is, but it is, the title of the dish is mac and cheese, so cheese is required. Let me shred this. I made a little toasty with 3 kinds of cheese that I just bought, the provolone, the cheddar, and the cheddar with smoke. So it kind of just gives you an idea is to see how they'll perform under heat. Anyway, I will enjoy this delicious little snack and I'll get right back at it. Oh my God, this is ridiculous. Smoked cheese. That's gonna add great flavor and depth. This step is taking the butternut squash once cooled and putting it in a blender. We're gonna emulsify it and get it smooth. It's pretty easy because it comes right off the skin. And you can just put the onions full. If you have any olive oil like this one, try not to lose it. Pour it right into your blender. That's gold. These onions go right in. They're sweet. I think I'm gonna leave out the brown ones. I don't want to change the color. I want it to be orangey. Put some heavy cream in there, maybe half cup. Need liquid in order for it to blend. Okay, that is good. That is beautiful and thick to add to the sauce at the right time. And actually, I think I will have more than I need. So I'll just keep this in my freezer in a Ziploc bag, flattened when I freeze it. Melted my butter and browned it a bit. I find it a little bit more woodsy tasting if you do that. Now it's time to make a roux. I'm gonna do a 1/4 cup. I'm gonna get a whisk ready because I have to start moving it around as soon as I put it in. I'm gonna do half a cup more. Okay. Half of it. And now we layer. Put in some of the sauce, or the sauce. And that's 500 grams of pasta. Okay, good. More pasta. More cheese, sauce. It smells smoky. It smells so full of flavor. Yum, yum, yum. Before you mix this together, you taste for final seasoning, salt, pepper. Now for the cheese top. And who doesn't want to have the cheese burnt in the crust in the corners. Put my provolone around, which wasn't. I bought by accident the sandwich slices. That's okay. They didn't have a flour base on them. You do not get pre-shredded cheese because they have a starch or some kind of flour on them so they don't stick together. Don't buy that. So I do have my oven on broil. It's waiting. More smoked salt into the oven. I don't want to cook that long. I don't want to bake it. I'm gonna do a nice crust on the top. Like I said, kind of like a pizza. I want it to crust and bubble and be really quick about it, because when I get to where I'm going, I'm gonna ask to put this just on the side of the barbecue somewhere just to warm. And that way, as you know, barbecues are heat up and oven type of baking. They don't have a broil. So this is my chance to do my broil. That is my macaroni and cheese. Getting it a little bit more healthy. Certainly has a lot of cheese, but even cheese, that is protein. I think I've maximized the amount of protein I can get in a mac and cheese. Happy summer barbecue picnics.
Well, I already know. I give you love, but you ration yours. You open up just to close the door, just to close